You can throw away your diamonds because 1.16 changes up the game with brand new blocks, brand new armor tools, ores, brand new mobs, and 3 brand new biomes. So strap in, we've got a lot to go over. First of all, there's a bunch of new blocks added to the game, as you can see here, which we're going to slowly go over. We'll cover all of the blocks in the game, and then we'll dive into the Nether, for some fancy stuff to check out the new biomes, which actually do look really epic. We'll just change it to day for a second. Hang on. There we go. Bam. Here we go. So there's some brand new trees that grow inside the Nether. They are the warped wart trees and the nether wart trees, I think they're called, or crimson trees. These are basically all the woods you can get out of them. So these are the logs with the planks and the strips and the fence gates and all that stuff. It looks actually genuinely really cool. I really like the different colours of these for like building out of. I think you can do like a lot with them. And the texture for these are great, because you look at that, you can see it's sort of just like pulsing slowly up the block. I am genuinely really like the wood textures. I think it's like one of the best things about this update. The trapdoors look great, and the doors look even better. Although there is some weird bugs with the doors. When playing around with it, we found that there's actually a really easy way to duplicate the door. Just put it on there and then break the block underneath, and you'll just like it just turn into 2 doors for some reason. And also, if you push it with a piston, you can actually just like create infinite doors. That isn't a bug. It's a bug that used to sort of happen with doors in the past, so it's really strange that it's kind of here with these doors now. Also, a lot of this stuff at the moment can't be mined properly. Stuff takes like a really long time to mine. The trapdoors and stuff like that take a really long time to remove. With like a pick or an axe or whatever. So I'm sure that will be patched in future updates, but it's just worth noting for now. Also, they've added some new sort of soil into the game. So this is in the Crimson biome, this is in the warped wart biomes. They don't spread on their own, but if you bone meal the block adjacent to them, you can actually like sort of start to spread it to other blocks if you really want to. Although I'm not really quite sure why you'd want to do that. You could just mine this up in the Nether. I mean, there's plenty of it, but the option's there if you want it, I guess. Here's some more stuff that sort of spawns in those biomes as well. It's just some like weeds and stuff like that, and there's some hanging vines. It doesn't look great there, but we'll see it better in the Nether. And these are the 2 warped wart mushrooms and the crimson fungi. So what you can actually do, if you take one of these back to the overworld, you can actually... It's going to prove me wrong, isn't it? Maybe you can't do it with that one yet, but you should actually better bone meal these. Is it because it's day? Nope, I think they just want to prove me wrong. Anyway, you should be able to bone meal these to make them grow. And they're just not doing it. They could be just like something I'm doing disastrously wrong, and people know what they're talking about, just screaming at me like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, you should actually better grow these. They're a bit strange actually, because they do sort of grow like really tall. But anyway, we'll have a look at those when we dive into the Nether in just a moment. This is the Nether wart block that you probably remember that was added a little while ago. Whoa, brilliant. Both are clear. That's what spawns around on those trees, and then this is just a blue variant of it for those biomes. We've also got some fancy new light sources as well, which I actually haven't grabbed into my inventory, but I get those now. We got the Soulfire Lantern. We've also got some new torches, which is quite exciting. And we've also got the warped Shroomlight here, or the Shroomlight even. These grow in these trees, and actually if you get these to bone meal, you can actually get these to generate. So there's probably ways like later on down the line to create some kind of shroom farm. These actually look really cool. I really like these. I actually really like these too. So these actually produce less light than normal torches, and these actually produce less light than normal lanterns, but if you just want to like spice up the way your place looks, then they're definitely something to go for. To keep on the blue front, if you really want to be a blue fiend, then you can get a flint and steel. You'll find this in the Nether as well. And if you set fire to some soul soil, bang, blue dirt, fire even. Nice. The only thing is, if you stand in it and catch fire, you remain orange, which, again, I'm sure will be... You can't do 0 anymore. Where's survival? Bang. You can see I'm actually like burning. I'm burning orange there, which just looks odd. Next things we're going to go over quickly is some of the new mob they've added in, which is the Hoglin. It's not really implemented properly yet, but it does look like it's definitely going to be a hostile mob, as it won't spawn on peaceful. So So let's just spawn him in. And see, here's a little hoglin. He doesn't attack you or hit you or anything yet. You can just kill him as much as you want, and he also like flips his head, like his legs for his head when you attack him. But he does actually look really cool. He's one of the more interesting looking mobs that have been added into the game for a while. I think he's going to be really cool when he's in. I think there are plans to have him breed and stuff like that. I don't know if you're better like farm him for stuff or what, but it'd be interesting to see what comes. Next, we also got these basalts. Oh, this is ancient debris, sorry, which sort of spawn around. And we've also got some basalt, which also spawns, which looks a bit like the ancient debris, like that. So there's some new blocks you might want to use. These actually don't use anything or have any crafting recipes at the moment. This ancient debris is the ore you mine to get this. So this doesn't do anything, this does. It's the new ore that's in the game that you want to be looking out for. So let's just quickly go over the new ore. So if I was to find this in the nether, which I'll show you how to find it in just a second, you can mine it and you'll get a piece of this, which I just punched out of existence. There you go, some netherite scraps. And then when you got 4 of your netherite scraps, you can burn it with 4 gold, and you can make yourself a netherite ingot. So there we go. And then once you got yourself a netherite ingot, you can start upgrading to your new armor, which looks very fancy. And to do that, you don't do it like in the traditional sense, with like doing an armor helmet shape out of it. You can take your diamond armor that you already have, place it in here, and then place that next to it. And there you go, you got your netherite helmet. Now, these aren't much difference when it comes to the stats, although one of the better things about them is they don't burn in lava. So if you die in the nether while fighting, all your other shit will burn, but your expensive armor will remain, which I think is really nice. They also have tools and stuff like that, which again aren't much faster or deal much damage than the actual versions. I'll just quickly get all of it in my inventory and just show you the stats for yourself, so you can just see how the stats compare to diamond. So you go, I've got all the stuff in my inventory. You can just see this has got 1 attack speed with 65 attack damage. And you can see this has got, again, 1 attack speed, but a different amount of attack damage. The pickaxes as well. It's sort of just up by 1 in everything when it comes to attack. You can see the diamond toe doesn't actually up at all in attack damage. The armor is pretty much the same, except it ups armor toughness by 1 and also adds knockback resistance, which the diamond armor doesn't have, as you can see there. Also, this is marginally faster when it comes to mining. It's not particularly that much faster than diamond, but it is a nice upgrade, and it will be nice to see what blocks we can now instant mine and stuff like that when it comes to adding like efficiency to it and getting like the haste 2 on some of the beacons. Anyway, let's do what you've been waiting for, which is to dive into the nether and check out some of these new biomes. So here we are in the nether. This is actually where I just spawned right here. So we are currently in what is known as the, where is it? It's called the Soul Sand Valley. Now playing around in the Soul Sand Valley, there's basically just a bunch of blue fire, some cool looking terrain, and ghast seem to spawn like way heavily here, which I don't know if it's a bug, because a lot of them spawn, but I actually really hope they kind of keep it in. I've been playing this snapshot with a few people, and honestly, going into like the nether, where like 5 of these just spawn on your arse is actually generally terrifying. So I actually really hope they keep that in. We've also got skeletons spawning in here as well, and this is also where you'll find the basalt coming down from the ceiling. I don't know if there's any plans to do anything with that yet. And you can also find some bone blocks and some like dead past creatures that have existed as you fly through this biome. You've also got a few of these spawning around, which is the crimson roots. That's really it for this biome. It looks very much like old nether terrain, but with a lot of soul sand on it. And it does actually, I do generally like this. And of course you've got the blue fog sort of hanging over everything. Also can show you one new feature as well, which is /locate a biome, which is really cool. And we can then just locate the biome that we're looking for, which, let's have a look for, are they probably at the bottom, aren't they? Or is it in alphabetical order? So again, do locate Minecraft : Crimson Forest, it'll do that, and then we can just click here, and bang, here we are in a Crimson Forest. So this is another looking really cool place. I really like the particles that are flying around. I don't know how well they're coming out on YouTube because of compression and stuff, but they do look genuinely really cool. And then these are the trees that I was actually trying to grow in the overworld that weren't growing for some reason. There could be a reason for that. Let me know if you do know. I don't know. I'm just a big fan of this biome. I think this is the favourite one that I've added in. The blue one looks cool, but this is just the vines hanging down from the trees, the grass, the particles flying around. I just genuinely really like it. I think it looks great. So in this biome, it doesn't particularly change any of the spawns up. It's kind of just like normal nether spawns. Hoglins spawn here, if we can find some of those somewhere. And we can also find pigmen spawning here as well. That's kind of it for the spawns in this biome. Also, of course, you get Nether Fortress just generating normally. This is one thing as well I hope they change. It's kind of a bit in your face when you change biome with the fog changing. I hope there's a slow transition or something implemented there, because I know, I guess if you really wanted to make like a nightclub in the game, you could just have people just jump back and forth like that really fast, but it doesn't look great. So I just really like what Mojang are doing with some parts of the game right now. I think they're adding a bunch of cool new stuff without like overcomplicating it. And I really hope they keep it up. Let's bring on the cave update next update, I think. I think that'll finish everything up for me for what I really want out of the game at the moment. Anyway, we'll dive on and check out the Warped Forest. Oh, okay. Here we go. We're in a warped forest now, which lacks some of the particle effects. There still are some flying around, but I definitely don't know how well they're going to come out on video. So this is kind of basically a bit like the other forest, except it's all blue. You can see the trees and stuff are generating in a similar way. They look very similar, except again, blue. And the fog has sort of gone a deep blue-purple colour. And again, we've got that janky transition as we change into different biomes. But the difference between this place and the other place is actually Enderman spawn here. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but Enderman didn't really spawn in the end before. In the Nether even. They definitely spawn in the end. So this is a new place. And I guess we could probably do some cool stuff maybe with the spawn mechanics and Enderman. We'll see what happens. Me and Greg are working on making a sort of automation video stuff for 1.16, so look out for that over on this channel and the Kinetic Games channel, and we'll cover some of the cool changes and stuff in that, and we'll play around with the new mechanics of stuff spawning when we get more and more into the snapshots. Yeah, it's actually I really like this biome as well. Just not as much as the red biome. You can see there are some janky stuff, like this tree has shot all the way into the roof for some reason. I don't know if it's meant to be deliberately janky in some places or whether they're going to fix that, but I don't know. It looks really cool. The final biome as well is the Nether Wastes, which is just kind of here. This is like the classic normal biome. If we just go to, I'd show you a bigger one. That's like old. There you go, got the locate, and then bam. Oh, it just took us to this one. Nice. So yeah, the Nether Waste is just like old terrain, old generation. The way the Nether used to look. It hasn't had any like change to spawn mechanics or anything like that as far as I can see. These biomes are actually really big and really common. You're not going to go through the Nether and think it just looks like the old one with a few of these popped in and out, but yeah, it definitely changes up the way it is. It's really good. I'm a big fan of what they've changed here. One final thing, the place where you want to get those special new ores from is actually down under some lava, which we'll just dig under over here. And you can find it just by mining under lava fields. We'll see if we can find some by strip mining. And it will just generate a bit like an ore. You have to be careful though not to dig up. I doubt we're going to... It's actually incredibly rare. When testing around with it, I found that it is rarer than diamonds when it comes to generating. I think it's sort of on the level of generation with emeralds. I'm not sure though. Don't fully quote me on that at all. So I've been mining for a little while. I've actually found a block here. I just mined around it to see if there's anything around it that isn't. It's just this. So that was quite a little bit of strip mining. I think that was probably incredibly lucky, if I'm honest. And also, I think the added danger of having to dig under lava for it is just an extra one. I think if I punch like another block above there, I'm going to go straight for the lava field that's above. So yeah, I think this is a really good reason to start going into the Nether and mining through rather than just the other stuff. And it's nice to have a nice upgrade on the armor and tools and stuff. So that's basically about it for this update, apart from the special arrow seems to have a retexture if we go into combat. And you can see it's now like a golden little arrow. I don't know if that has changed last update, but I just noticed that. I'm not 100% sure if it wasn't changed this update or not. There's a bunch of bug fixes and changes and stuff like that, which I'll leave in the description down below. If you don't want to hear me just reading them all out, there's no point in that. This is a really cool update. I'm really looking forward to what they do with the hoglins and some of the extra stuff. And I'm looking forward actually to what they bring in some other updates. Hopefully next update will be a cave update, and then we'll have some really cool stuff to check out. So anyway, have a fantastic day. Make sure you press subscribe if you haven't already, and check out some of the other stuff that's hanging around on here. Yeah, catch you later.